What up, what up, what up, what up? Of course, I'm Tucson Werner, and you're tuned in to Herb and Two's podcast, Intellectual Thuggery, of course. Today, Herb's not here, but we're discussing relationship topics as we always do on Friday. We try to enhance our relationships in our community, with our spouses, with our partners, because, you know, they got partners today instead of girlfriends and boyfriends. Even with our co-hosts. And even though my illustrious co-host, Erica Ford Oliver, is going to be wrong in most of our conversation today, I'm still going to discuss these topics. Welcome to Herb and Two. E, what's happening?
Why you have to just say my whole name?
I should have said Erica Ford Oliver?
No, stop saying my name.
Oh, my bad. See how this is going to go? We started off on a good foot. What up, man?
What's up?
What you been up to, E?
What I've been up to? Nothing.
We ain't seen you. You wasn't here yesterday. What you doing the weekend? What's happening?
What did I do this weekend? I relaxed. I think I.
Nigga, you with the Burner Boy. I got to tell you what you did on your weekend.
Oh, I did.
God damn. Jesus, this is terrible.
When did I go to Burner Boy? I went to Burner Boy on Wednesday. Y'all, I love Burner Boy. If anybody knows.
What about Burner Boy do you like so much? He's
Okay.
Igbo. What is Burner Boy? He's Nigerian, right?
Nigerian.
What is it in Nigeria? It's Igbo and
Hey, I can't think
it's
of
the other one.
I can't think of the other one right now. Igbo and Yoruba.
I don't think that's right, but I'm going to go with it. Okay.
I think it is Yoruba and Igbo. Let us know if we're wrong. But yeah, I love Burna Boy. I found out he's a Cancer, and I usually like Cancers.
You like Cancers?
Yeah, I don't know why though.
I don't either.
I love.
Well, let me stop. My son's a Cancer. I love my child. And I like Cancer women, but Cancer dudes, I've always disliked Cancer dudes.
I like Cancer men, but they're toxic.
How?
So maybe I shouldn't.
How so?
Like them. I was about to say something real rude. One of my best friends is a Cancer man, and he is a piece of work. And I don't know. I like Cancer men. I used to love Leo men, but then I realized that would never work. I'm a Leo. And then as of late, it's been like Cancer men. I don't know why I like them.
For me, Cancer dudes is always like soft.
No.
Shit.
No, none of the Cancer men that I've encountered have been soft. They've been like emotional and sensitive.
Well, that's soft, ain't it?
But it's like in a...
Why are you gay?
Ryan is a Cancer, but...
Sensitive.
He's not the type of Cancer that I...
Sensitive thugs, they all need hugs, man.
Maybe that's what it is. Sensitive thugs.
They all need hugs, man.
Yeah.
But I've never...
I love Burna Boy.
No bullshit. Like so my wife was scheduled to have my son in late July, early August. So the expectation that he was gonna be a Leo.
Right.
And I was banking on that shit, and I could deal with that.
Uh-huh.
Right. Well, first, no, he wasn't. He was scheduled to be born July 14th.
Okay.
And immediately I was like, this is gonna be a problem. Right? Because my entire life, I've never gotten along with a Cancer dude, with the exception of one, but he was all the way crazy. I just fuck with his craziness, right? But he was too crazy at some points. But all the other Cancer dudes, they all seem like followers to me, and that's just an energy I never really rock with. So, you know, through the process of her going through the pregnancy, they came to us and was like, man, you know, you ain't dropping or whatever. So he was like, they spaced it out to like late July, early August. So I'm like, oh, I'm good money. So we went to, I don't know what they call it, you know, the little rub on your belly joints, the oil shit.
Ultrasound.
Yeah, the ultrasound, that joint. And they realized she didn't have any amniotic fluid.
Oh, wow.
And it was too early for him to be a Leo. And they had to pull him out.
So my daughter was scheduled to be born, actually she wasn't ever scheduled to be a Leo. I was hoping she was going to come a little bit earlier. She was scheduled to be born on August 27th. And I was hoping that I went into labor early so that she can be a Leo, but she's a Virgo.
It's all bad around there. It's Cancers, then it's Virgos. It's all bad. It's either Leo or bust. You got it fucked up if you miss the mark either way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Agree. I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's some fucked up shit around there, man. But yeah, so Burna Boy.
I went to see Burna Boy. He was in Chicago on Wednesday. I like Burna Boy because he is like, I like his energy. We was just talking about dancing before the camera goes on. He was doing his like little cute dances. I really like his music and his voice.
What you say you be dancing at? What party did you like to dance at?
I said I would go to a party with gay boys so that I could dance. But yeah, I like to go to the parties with the boys. to dance. Yes.
Bless your heart. Man. Bless your
Yeah,
heart.
I love it. But Burna Boy be dancing.
What's Burna Boy's big record? I can't think of what's the Burna Boy big record.
You probably know City Boys is the latest one. On
I probably
Top of the
would listen to
World.
them called City Boys.
He remade Jeremiah's. He used Jeremiah's beat. Last.
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah. You know Burna Boy.
I like Afrobeats somewhat.
Yeah.
Right, but I also feel like it's kind of like an imitation to hip hop, and this is just my own xenophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like people stealing our shit and then don't give us our just due credit. You know what I mean?
So I've ever since that concert, I've been looking at a lot of Burna Boy interviews. So like how I'm not a fan of many like music artists, right? Where I consider myself like a fan. I'm a fan of Beyonce. Like I'll go to her concerts and stuff like that, and I'm a fan of Burna Boy. Like these are people that I will follow. Like I would want to go see them multiple times and stuff like that. I've been following watching a lot of his interviews since that concert because I'm like, dang, I really like him. And he pays homage to a lot of American artists from what's their name? RZA and all of them.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang
RZA, what's their name? No, Burna Boy don't know Wu-Tang. It's so disrespectful.
You talk about who is it? Bob Marley. I know that's not American, but like Bob Marley.
Bob is the joint though.
It's a lot of other people. He talk a lot about Virgil. I think Virgil was like one of his mentors or something like that.
The designer Virgil?
Yeah. I forget what other artists, but basically I say all that to say he really does give credit back to like American artists. So
he got in trouble not too long ago for saying something about black people don't have no culture.
They misinterpreted.
Well, I say it all the time, so I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what he was saying is black people don't. And I think that's why I like him. And I talked about this with like this might sound a little messed up, so black men forgive me. This gonna sound a little bit messed up, but or maybe not. I don't know. I'll just say it, and we could just bleep it out if necessary.
Man, go ahead.
No,
fuck them niggas, man.
So like we talk about like why I like African men, and I think the reason that I like African men is because they are familiar with their culture, because they do know about their culture, and they be really heavy into like those routines and those values, right? And I think that's attractive to me. And but that kind of like equates to like a man that like kind of shows discipline too. But I think the reason somebody asked me that, like, why do you like African men? I'm like, I think it's because they have a culture to talk about and to be like immersed in, and that's messed up for us because, like you always say, we don't really like black people don't really have a culture. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of seems like I won't say we be all over the place, but we kind of fall in line with just like American culture. And American culture is like white culture.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to the text I sent you. See, I'm right. I just want you to know, but I'm not going to get into it. I just want you to know.
Because I'm talking about black men and black women, not just black women. I know you're going to blame black women for some stuff in a minute, so we'll
Here you go, putting shit on my jacket.
I
don't blame black women for anything. I just understand the system. That's all.
Where
was the concert at?
It was at Wintrust.
Okay, that's dope.
It was at Wintrust. And I saw him when he was here before. He was here like 2 years ago or something like that at Northerly Island. So it was outdoors, and it was real fun. But the last time I went with the guy I was with, this time I went with my friend. We had a ball.
That's super dope, man. What's the best concert you ever been to?
Burna Boy, no, this way.
You mean it.
On this way, probably.
They was passing out Jollof rice at the Burna Boy concert?
No, they wasn't, man. There wasn't no keys up in there either. But probably.
Free Jollof!
I don't know. I probably Burna Boy concert, the one at Northerly Island. That was real fun. But Beyonce with Jay-Z, I like that one. And Usher. I went to Usher concert before, and he was good.
I seen Jay before. That was horrible for me.
Really?
I think Jay's terrible in concert.
It was just him? Just his concert?
I don't think so. It might have been the Rock the Mic tour, if I remember correctly. I seen Jay probably more than once. But Erykah Badu probably my best concert experiences every time I go see Erykah Badu. And shout out to Erykah Badu for her most recent post on Instagram where she was with I can't remember who she was with. I was gonna send you
that video.
Yeah,
she had a booty cheek out.
Oh, bless her heart.
I was gonna
bless her heart. She was doing so well. Yeah, so shout out to Erykah Badu.
Who was she with?
Rhapsody. That's what she was with. She was with Rhapsody.
She was with Rhapsody, yeah.
I saw Erykah Badu before the world knew who Erykah Badu was in New Orleans, man. She was singing Jill Scott version on Black Thought in them record. I can't remember the name. Yeah. Before she got signed or before anybody knew who she was. I shot my shot. It didn't go well, but I still shot my shot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What? Please tell that story.
Shoot. She was at the House of Blues in New Orleans. We was down there. I had some partners that went to school down there.
Wait, so this was like...
We in college.
Years ago, okay.
Yeah, I'm in college. So this is 40 years ago.
So you've been loving her.
Yeah. It's been a long time fling. You know what I mean? But we was down there. I had some partners that was going to school in Baton Rouge, so we was down there visiting. We went to see them in concert at the House of Blues. And I didn't know who she was. And she was singing the Jill Scott joint. But this must have been on her promo run. She was already signed, about to come out. She already was established or whatever. Yeah, so, I shot my shot. That whole experience was crazy, though, man. I had never been in New Orleans. That was my first time in New Orleans. And New Orleans got a real different energy. And I wasn't equipped to deal with the New Orleans energy at the moment. You know, that's a little advanced for me. I don't even mean advanced. Like, New Orleans specifically at that time, hood shit was at a whole different level. Like, we talking about...
New Orleans?
Yeah, like, we talking about Master P, Silk the Shocker, that era, right? So every nigga got on the size 14X t-shirt. You know what I mean? They wearing lugs and shit. It was some different shit. I didn't fit in. It was
what
weird.
You was wearing?
I was a cool High Parkian at that time. You know what I mean? It didn't fit. Whatever that shit was, it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? But I got into it. I got into it with a nigga. Y'all remember the nigga rapper Fiend? So check game. I'm in New Orleans, and they got all these signs with and they open carry. So they had all these signs like no gun area, no gun area. Again, I'm from Chicago. This shit is irrational to me.
Right.
I'm not understanding law, and I'm thinking, why nigga got to have a sign to say this is no gun area?
Right.
Because I'm just thinking everybody laws like our laws.
Right.
Right. So and I didn't even know who the nigga Fiend was at the time. But we did something happened, man, where we had some kind of little slight altercation, and I'm on some tough Tony Toussaint from Chicago shit. That nigga up that back, I said, hey, I'm sorry. So
I've been to New Orleans once. Hey, so when did you shoot your shot at Erykah?
Doing after the show, like you was just in the crowd, shot my shot.
After the gun got pulled on you?
No, that was after the whole shit. You know what I mean? But doing the after the concert.
But what you say to her? I want to know what your game was.
I don't know what I said verbatim. But it was something like I love you.
and that was your shooting shot?
No, that probably wasn't it, but it was... She's mesmerizing though, bro.
The reason why I asked is because I bet you didn't even shoot your shot.
No, I shot my shot. But she mesmerizing. I shot my shot. She's different. I've shot my shot more than once at Erykah Badu.
Oh, wow. Okay, well.
Right? Now, the first time I was really shooting because she was nobody.
Okay.
The second time I thought I was shooting, but I was probably more mesmerized.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't realize what it was, but the energy is crazy. The second time was probably around the Common crochet pants era. You know what I mean? And she was I can't remember where she was at. She was here though. And I was backstage with him and all that. And she walked past, and it was like I was in the trance from that point forward. You know what I mean? I just was following her around, doing whatever she say do, like a puppet. I understand the energy, G. It's something about her, G. She different.
I need to be an Erykah Badu about myself. I'm going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what it takes, G. She just operating her pure femininity, I think, though, man. And it is attractive, like, and it's wild because, like, I didn't even relate to two. One, her being the lady at the Roots concert in
the lady from years ago.
To her becoming Erykah Badu. Okay. Right? So when she becomes Erykah Badu, it wasn't like, it moved me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it was like back to the Common era. She dealing with Common. I'm like, man, what kind of weirdo niggas is these, man? You know what I mean? And then in that moment, I get back in her energy, and I was like, no, I get it. I fully understand. It make all the sense in the world.
That's the energy thing too. You always talk about how relationships shouldn't be dependent on, transactional things, and it should be just about the energy. I think that's probably part of my attraction too. when it comes to like African men.
Break that down.
The men that I think about, because I didn't really think it was a thing for me until people kept joking about it. And then until my daughter, which I won't tell that story here, I'll tell it on Patreon. But I wonder if the viewers get mad when we do that, and then they not on Patreon, so they don't know.
Get on Patreon.
But true. But ever when my daughter, whatever happened with her, whatever she said to me or whatever, I was like, dang, okay. And then I was talking to my friends about it, and it was like, you do like African men a lot, like you have talked to a few African men, and then they asked me the same thing, like why? And I thought about it, and the 3 people that I'm thinking of that stand out, that kind of have that same like energy, it's been like interactions where I've been able to just be, you know what I mean? The 3 people, 2 of them that I actually dated, one that I didn't really date is like a friend of mine, but we went out on a date a couple times or whatever, but he's just a friend of mine. But all of those men, I was able to just like be. It was like a different type of energy.
What that mean? Able to just be? Break it down.
I mean, like, I felt like I didn't have to really do anything. You know what I mean? I feel like when, and it might not be the fault of whatever the guy is necessarily. I can't say we would have to like talk through that. But I felt like usually when I'm dating somebody, it feels like I'm the one that's, I don't know how I explained it before, like not selling myself or not, it's like I'm offering something to them. You know what I mean? Whether it be driving the conversation, whether it be, I don't know, whatever it is. It just feels like they can get something from me, whatever that get is. It doesn't, I'm not talking about money or anything like that, but it seems like that man is getting something from me. And the times that I've gone out with these other men that we're talking about, that wasn't the case. It was just like, Erica, don't really worry about anything. I'm just there just to be just there for my company type of thing. You know what I mean? I can just.
But if the other dudes was getting something from you, what do you think you're getting from the African brothers?
The opportunity to just relax and just be. Shit, I don't know.
Oh God, that's
no.
corny.
How is that corny if you say that the interactions or relating should just be about the exchanging of energy? Right?
I think that's partially, I'm not banking my whole story on that, but I think that's partial, right? I think the energy dictates the value oftentimes. But right. I'm trying to get to the core of what you mean when you say you're just able to be.
I can't really explain it. I guess, like, I can't really explain it. I have to think about it a little bit. But I guess, so for instance, one of my friends, I don't know. I have to think about how to explain it. I can't really explain it too much. But I'm not saying that I'm not willing to give or that I don't give anything. You know what I'm saying? If we're having a conversation, if I'm helping with something, even if I'm doing something that is tangible, cooking or whatever like that, it's like I'm just doing it on my own accord. You know what I mean?
But that's why I'm asking though, right? Because being is being. Mm-hmm. Doing is doing. They're different things. Right, so when you being, you just are in the energy, enjoying the energy. There's an exchange of energy, but there's no tangible activity associated with it. So when most people say I'm allowed to be, it's like, well, he gonna cover everything, or he orders for me, or he picked me up. He dictated what time the date was and all that.
Yeah, okay, maybe like part of that, like taking charge.
But all that is still doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I guess I've experienced the energy part, as far as like the masculinity energy part, that I felt that differently only with one person. But I guess it is more of like the take charge part of it. That's probably what it is, because when I'm thinking about my friend, it's just like, oh, okay, what time your flight come? Okay, cool. All right, well, you could just go check out. I'll pick you up from your hotel. We'll go have brunch, and then I'll drop you off at the airport. Just taking charge.
Why do you think,
me not having to worry about
American-bred black men don't operate in that space? Like, do you think there's some fear attached to like American black male behavior? Like, were they scared to say yes and no? Like, I need to get my hand nails done, and they'll do it, but they want to say no. Or be confident enough to say, yeah, you just one of the on the roster, right? It's all in my. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
There's a lot of innuendo and secrets and lies. Why do you think some men come in with the confidence where other men don't come in with the confidence to be that honest and direct?
You would have to answer for.
I got a perspective, but
okay, but yes, I do think that they're afraid to say yes and no, because I think that some men don't know the power of no. You know, typically, and just because of the way that American people are made up, like America, they say we always want to negotiate for better. You know, we always want the next best thing, man and woman. So if you say no, that's probably going to make the woman want you more, and vice versa, I would think, right? So yeah, I do think that they are afraid to say yes and no. I think the fear, I think it's more so greed than like fear. And I think it's greed because these men, a lot of men don't know what they want, you know? I find that a lot of men are not really decisive when it comes to dating. They may be decisive in other parts of their life, their career or whatever, schooling, whatever the case may be, but they're not very like decisive, and they don't really know what they want or know themselves. And those type of men have a problem with saying no.
So Jay-Z line kind of me when you say that, right? In my mind, I look at it like, how you gonna upgrade me? What's higher than number one, right? And I say that in the context of even your comparison between African men and
I hate that that's what this episode is about.
It's not finna be what this episode about, but I'm just intrigued with your Burna Boy experience.
I love Burna Boy.
Great, bless his heart. But in context though, right? African American men, African men, white men, Asian men, Indian men. What's the difference in all the men and us?
We don't know what our culture is. I don't know.
In every one of those cultures, all of them men are heralded as the value asset. They're heralded as the prize, with the exception of us. We live in a matriarchy. All them other cultures are patriarchies. The man is seated at the top of the food chain.
Do you think that black men, African American men, are starting to become
seated at the top of the food chain?
Within like the black community, I mean, or between a black man and a black woman, it kind of you don't think. And if they are,
I think it's a dysfunctional even a way that we arise to that point. I know that I get the question you're asking, and I could say I see some of that changing, but it's not really being heralded as a man. No, you just an expensive trinket to you like a goddamn accessory to an outfit. You like the best accessory I could buy. Right, so in essence, the woman still holds the power, but I'm gonna take care of you. That's not the same kind of conversation I'm having.
I'm gonna take care of you.
I mean, one, we live in a matriarchy, so money's changing. Black women out-earn black men, they out-educate black men. It's all that shit. So you coming to the table, you get to 40 or late 30s, and you're like, damn, it's slim pickings out here if I ain't going to date Burna Boy. You know what I mean? You know what it is. Everybody ain't chose a Burna Boy yet, right?
Manifesting it.
Bless your heart again. But in not choosing a Burna Boy, what you got to choose from? You got the homosexual community. You got I've been in the joint, or I'm in the joint. You got I'm unemployed. It's not a lot to choose from. So you start maneuvering through the scraps and saying, what can I make the best out of the scraps? And because you lonely, not saying you in general, but the culture, you lonely, you kind of prop this guy up, but he ain't really of value. And he don't really feel the value. He ain't in control of shit. He's just a good prop. When I say them other communities is patriarchal, it essentially builds a level of confidence in them boys. When they become men, they already know their position.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas in that black system, you don't know your position. So you acquiesce to the needs of women, i.e. not being able to say no. I.e. being afraid to stand on your radical honesty of saying, yeah, you cool, but you number four. You know what I mean? And when you get that kind of confidence, and I ain't gonna say all men or every man, I'm painting with a real broad brush here.
Yeah.
But I would assume, and it's just an assumption of like the dudes I know, I think most of them have had a period of their life when they walked in that space of, No, shorty, you cool, but that's it. You just cool. You just on the roster. But same kind of theories apply, right? As you get past certain stages in life and the values change, you ain't really achieved that XYZ level. So now you start acquiescing, losing that confidence, because now you're being placed back in your polarity of less than, right? You might be able to get away with that shit from like 18 to 25.
Yeah, I think even when you talk about like to be able to say you cool, but you number 4 on a roster, like even that type of like language. For me, like to hear a man say that, I wouldn't really even consider you like a man. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't
say it in that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is for the podcast.
Right.
But being open and honest enough to say, hey man, I like you.
Yeah.
You're a good person. I enjoy spending time with you. But I also like her. Yeah. I enjoy spending time with her. Yeah. And I'm not married. I don't have to conform to your standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And in most cultures, the woman conforms to the man's standard.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen for us.
Yeah.
We conform to y'all standard.
And they don't conform because the black man doesn't feel like they have that power.
Because they feel powerless.
Yeah.
Right? Well, everybody, again, and it's a system, of course, right? It could always shift based on your perspective. But in those other systems, it's like the woman is expected to either act, you could choose otherwise. Yeah. But it's a lot of women that's going to acquiesce because that is the culture. Yeah. Right? And now, this ain't like no secret squirrel talk, motherfuckers. No women had the philosophy, I'm going to beat her out. And I ain't saying that's the perfect dynamic, but it does create a level of confidence in the dude. Like, I know I'm good. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, when the guy is honest, like honesty and talking like that is attractive. You know, so that's why I'm saying, like, I don't feel like a lot of men recognize the power of no. And not that they should use saying no or being honest to be manipulative, but that's attractive. Now, you tell me you good or I really like you, but I'm not trying to be in a relationship, or I like her too. It might be attractive that you being honest. I'm still going to be like, okay, cool, you know, thanks for being honest. That's not for me, but it is power in that even, you know. But I feel like a lot of the good men, you know what I mean? And I use air quotes just because it's subjective of what good is. But I feel like the good men are kind of becoming more of the prize.
In what way?
I just feel like they're more respected. Like, I feel like those type of men, the more honest men, like men with character, you know what I'm saying? And just like different, like with values and like better morals and stuff, are just being respected more. And a man that does say no or turn down other women or whatever seems to be a little bit more, I don't know about the prize, because I don't know, maybe I retract that
y'all
statement,
give a fuck about honesty.
The prize, you don't think as women as a whole give a fuck about honesty?
Not at all. And that leads me right into the conversation of Reese Peasy. What's her name? Reese Tisa.
Reese Tisa. Recitessa.
Recitessa.
Reese Tisa or
Reese Tisa. Whatever her fucking name is.
Shout out to her.
No. Not shout out to her. How was you clapping for her?
Thought everybody was going to
She's an original dirtbag.
No, she's not.
She is an original dirtbag, and I'm going to explain why, but I want to hear your perspective. So first, let's be clear. Like I know the word is already caught up to most people know who Reese Tisa is, but if you don't know, she did a 50-part series on TikTok.
Yes, it was
a series of recordings that all were 10 minutes apiece, and I think they were titled "Who the Fuck Did I Marry?"
Yeah.
And in that conversation, I believe she exposed the insanity of the dude she was dating. Now, you said you watched all 50 episodes of this bullshit.
Remember, I started watching it. I said that I was only going to get to 10. Well, I got through all 50.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, but
I watched a few of them, but I couldn't take too much of that shit.
Here's the thing. The reason you talked about the top podcast being like crime podcasts, murder mysteries, stuff like that, that's pretty much what this was. The thing that drew
he kills somebody?
No, but I'm just saying it's kind of just like an audio series or listening to a podcast. So I was able to listen to it like while I was at work or whatever like that as I was working. And what made it special is because just like how she told the story, like how she detailed everything, that was impressive. But she did admit, she took accountability. She did admit that, you know, she was just desperate. You know, it was like out of desperation. She did admit that, you know, she just wanted it to be her turn or whatever. So, and she wasn't a dumb lady. You know what I mean? She was not a dumb lady. She really didn't have the thing that I would say she did wrong is she moved like really, really fast, you know, and she got caught up in thinking that, you know, she finally got her man. But he got her. You want me to tell you what happened in the beginning?
What happened in the beginning?
This is what happened in the beginning. Let me tell you where he got at. Okay, this is how he reeled in. And this was during COVID, so we all had a few. I got a COVID story myself, okay?
I was lonely.
I got a COVID story myself.
Except me.
Everybody was locked down. You just kind of grabbed I'm sure, well, two of y'all married, right? So, but anyway, everybody in this room probably got a little COVID story or whatever. But anyway, she went on a date with him. She met him on a app or a dating app or something like that. And on their first date, her tire blew out. And this goes back to like men, right? Her tire blew out. She called him and said, "Hey, I'm probably not gonna make it. My tire blew out." He said, "Oh, well, where you at? I'll come help you." He pulls up on her in the gas station, changes her tire, puts a donut on. This before they ever even met face to face, you know, for their official date. And which that's any woman that's gonna be like, "Oh, okay." Like you're gonna be like, "Okay, that's nice."
He knows how
like,
to change a tire.
He knows how to change a tire, because a lot of men don't know how to change a tire.
That's real shit. I know.
Okay?
That is fucked up.
A lot of men don't know how to change no tire.
I agree.
A lot of men gonna be looking at you like, what you gonna do? A lot of men, before y'all even go on that date, gonna be like, oh, okay, well, we could reschedule, right?
That's true.
Perhaps. So he changed her tire, so she looking at that like, oh, shit, okay, nice. Then he said, you can't be driving around on this donut. Let me take you around the corner to the tire shop. I'm gonna buy you a new tire. Took her around the corner to the tire shop, bought her a new tire. They proceeded to go to their date, sat for hours.
So the first date was $500 date.
They went to Cheesecake Factory.
So it was a $300 date.
It probably more. You probably right, $500 because he bought her a new tire, right?
Well, with one new tire and Cheesecake Factory, about $300.
Okay, $300, right? But I'm not even talking about the money. It's just the fact that is a manly, you know, thing to do, and a lot of men don't do stuff like that. They just don't.
So she was gone from that point
forward.
So
I think that he got her just from that, like, dang, okay, nice. So then then they have a good conversation. They align with the things that they want. They're in their 40s. So, and she's like a religious kind of woman. Like, she wants to have kids, like all this stuff, right? So they like, okay, you like, okay, I know what I want. You know what you want. You want to be married. You want to have kids, blah, blah, blah. You in the church. I'm in the church. You know, they aligned on all these things. Boom, let's move forward and get to know each other. What she went wrong is, so COVID happened, and then they decided, okay, where we gonna quarantine, because you know it's a lockdown now. We can either quarantine.
So you jumping segments though, E?
Yeah, because I don't want to go too.
You ain't gotta go segment by segment, but we already denying bullshit, right? Because we jumped from the tire to the COVID, right?
Right.
In between that, this nigga's telling her his job done relocated, and I ain't watched the whole shit, but I just watched this part.
But that's what I'm saying, right? He told her that he moved back to Atlanta. He went to high school and stuff in Atlanta from San Diego, because he went to school in California. He got married in California. He got divorced in California. His wife.
And he played arena league football.
He played arena football, right? And his job relocated him back to Georgia. And that worked out perfect because, you know, he divorced his wife. They got him up in corporate housing or whatever, which you saw his apartment. They got him up in corporate housing until he buys a house. He's a VP of this company or whatever. These are literally things that happen in real life, right? And if any of us heard those things from somebody, there would be no reason for us to go and check that they went to this school, check that they actually got divorced. Maybe that, but, you know, check all these things that he's telling you, because a normal person wouldn't lie about that stuff.
Nigga tell me he played arena league football. I'm going to Google.
That's different,
immediately.
yeah.
Immediately I'm going.
If you told me he was divorced, I'm going to check and see.
So that's some woman shit. I wouldn't give a shit. But arena league football, I'm going to see what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I might be off of here. I don't know if I remember correctly because I didn't watch the whole shit. But even in the transitional housing, it was like some one-room tenement or some shit like that.
It was a studio apartment.
Right. And she was like, you know, he was in his kind of bad situation, but it was just because he was in transition from the gig.
From what I heard, it wasn't like he was in a bad situation. He was in a studio apartment. But again, my friend moved from Memphis to Atlanta, and her job relocated her, the new job she got, and the same thing. They was putting her up in housing. So this is
housing in the studio a little different though, ain't they?
Yeah, well, I think they was gonna let her find like an Airbnb or something like that. But if it's just him, I mean, I was splurging.
If we're thinking about corporate and he getting moved, there's some capital there.
Okay, so I'll give you that.
You'll give me that.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I just gonna put in all the bullshit because immediately I was like, oh, bullshit.
I'll give you that. I'll give you. And he wasn't the VP of the company.
How the nigga was paying the bills though?
Because he had a job. He was a forklift driver and a loader, and she said he was paying. They was paying him good money. So January, February, he was unemployed. They met in March. A temp agency sent him to the condiment company, which I think is rumored to be like Heinz.
Okay.
And he was getting paid as a loader and a forklift driver. So he wasn't really. Her rent was. I think she said her rent was like less than $1,000. So it ain't like it was.
So why he had to put on this show?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
You do know.
He could have just been
We just had this goddamn conversation.
That is not why.
We just had. See, this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit right here.
Blame black women for why this motherfucker had to tell a book of lies.
Then you explain to me. What did the man do?
He the man. You tell me why. You a man.
What did the man do? See, this is why I turned that dumb shit off. That's exactly why I turned this dumb shit off.
Because you don't want to take accountability for you black men.
The man came in and took accountability for that house immediately. I'm paying your bills. I'm paying your car note. Off a forklift salary. I don't know what that is because I don't know what forklifters make. But I'm assuming that after he paid the rent and the car note, whatever the number was, he probably had $32 left into the next paycheck.
No, he probably had. I think they probably make some decent money.
Well, I don't know what forklifters make, so let me stop making that. I don't want to, do that to forklifters.
She said he made good money.
Okay.
She said he made good money.
So he doing all the shit that a good, quote unquote, good dude would do. But how are we quantifying good dude? This is what I mean about the transactional nature of y'all behaviors. Right?
Well, she said he was very caring. He was somebody that wanted to make sure she was safe. Like she was saying, like he was a guy that wouldn't let her, and this is small stuff, but her signal out on her car. He not gonna let her signal, he gonna change the bulb on her car. He was like very handy in the house, fixing stuff, like the things that we consider
doing. The more he does, the more value he has.
Yeah,
the more he does, the more value he has.
Okay.
That's why I turned her ass off. I couldn't take it no more. Because every time she described this nigga, it was when some super elaborate ass lie, but I just accepted it because he was
But why
doing.
is it her fault that he didn't feel like he was his job and whatever he has to offer was enough?
This is also woman logic. I'm not saying her fault, but you ain't no fucking victim. This does not need an award-winning TikTok show.
Okay, so
you volunteered for all of this.
She's not a victim. What is he?
A salesman.
So she's a volunteer.
And he's a master salesman.
He's a master salesman.
He's a master salesman. I'm not saying it's right, but he sold the product, obviously.
He's not wrong.
No, he's wrong.
Okay.
He's wrong for sure. Okay. But he's also a master fucking salesman. He sold what he wanted to sell. He got the dream. He wanted to mimic his brother's life. He was able to do it with whoever, Risa Tisa, whatever her name is. Right? He already had a plan. He had a goal. Right? He could have replaced Risa Tisa with Tangi from down the street. It don't matter.
And he had.
So he had another chick too.
He was married. This was his third marriage.
So he been doing this shit. This is what he do.
Yeah, he's a pathological liar.
No, Then what do we call those women who buy into these philosophies? Because they gotta have some accountability in that story too. Again, just certain shit.
Yeah.
Arena League football. Get your ass out of here. Offshore bank accounts. Get your ass out of here. Wait, we ain't gonna stop here. Let me get this off. Let me get this shit off. My company card has never made it to the fucking house. Get your ass out of here, right? And I didn't listen to too much more of this shit because I couldn't take it, right? But I got, we done looked at 45 fucking houses. I'm making cash offers, but I don't want none of these houses, right? And at every turn, she said, I know he's lying. I know he's lying.
Yeah.
I know he's lying, but. I know he's lying, but. I know he's lying, but. Then that's what you like.
You right.
You like the story. You like the liar. You were sold on the bullshit.
She said that, yeah.
Because whatever reasoning, right? Charlamagne said because she was fat. I don't know.
Charlamagne's wild for saying that. She was a little big. She was a nice looking lady to me. She was lonely. She was desperate. It was COVID. She had gotten pregnant by him. She was desperate and lonely. She admits that.
Then why do you deserve a TikTok award? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
Because it was her motherfucking story. She went through it. I'm going to get something out of this. I'm going to be like, look, I'm going to get something out of this deal.
She got something out of the deal.
I always say, if somebody do some shit to me or whatever, let's say I'm with a man, every fucking body's going to be mad. Not just me. I'm not about to sit here mad.
See, that's that woman logic again. That's that fucking woman.
I'm about to be pissed off.
That woman logic. But she got a lot out the deal.
Good.
If she would just, not if she would have just, because I'm not blaming. But she got the dude that she wanted. She got the dude that was catered to her needs. She got the dude that paid the bills. So even if he kept up these elaborate ass stories, again, I didn't get to the climax. I don't know what happened to be like, I can't take this shit no more. My whole gripe with the whole, at least the portions of the story I heard was like, man, this is the nigga you wanted.
Yeah.
Right? And granted, the dude was a flat out snake oil salesman. He's
mentally ill. Yeah.
But also, you got to give credence for her being mentally ill too, though. That's the whole point I'm making in this whole conversation, right? Because she's being touted and being pushed out into the public now. In a lot of ways, she done got some social media celebrity, right? She done made it from social media to ABC. They done did a story on her.
She got some deals. They want to buy the
She got some brand deals. They trying to buy the story. Yeah, all kinds of shit's finna happen, right? And I think this is a flawed philosophy. And it's interesting. Like, when I was listening to this shit, and again, I'm going to keep saying, I never got to the tipping point.
Yeah.
Right? In my mind, a picture of my brother-in-law kept coming up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I kept seeing my brother-in-law. Shout out to my brother-in-law, and I love the shit out of my brother-in-law. Salute to my brother-in-law Paris, right? So, but this is true shit. My sister and my brother-in-law was married, had 2 kids. That's their life. I'm on the outskirts of that shit. I only see through the lens of whatever my sister's explaining to me.
Yeah.
They ended up getting a divorce. He really wasn't around a lot. She's giving me a perspective of who dude is.
Yeah.
Now, he was a braggart. I could see dude when I see my brother-in-law, just hearing the story.
Yeah.
Right? I do this. I play offshore accounts. My brother-in-law would say some wild shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? But my sister gave me a perspective of my brother-in-law outside of my brother-in-law, right? My sister ends up passing away. Now my niece and nephew are with my brother-in-law, so I build a personal relationship with my brother-in-law. I've come to respect my brother-in-law immensely.
Okay.
But from the perspective of my sister, it would have been, you ain't shit nigga.
Yeah.
And when my sister passed on and I see him engaging and dealing with them kids and taking care of them the way he's taking care of them and the accomplishments he's had with them children and the relationships he has, you couldn't have never been the man my sister described to me. Because they ain't the same nigga. That nigga ain't showing up that way. You know what I mean? And I think it's when you hear Risa Tisa, or whatever her name is, Risa Tessa, whatever the name is, it's a very one-sided, lopsided viewpoint. And even in her perspective of what she did accept versus what she's outwardly now saying, I'm appalled that I accepted. For me, it speaks to the level of insanity in you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just interesting to hear or to see like the kind of how captivating this is to the country right now. Like she went from like
my COVID story, hell.
You know what I'm saying? She got like a couple million followers in like a couple hours. G. That's huge. And again, shout out to her. Like she should make some bread off of it.
Yeah.
But that's America, G. Like they're I know you gonna say I blame black women. You blame black women. It ain't even black women. It's women. Y'all get to play this victim shit when y'all don't be victims. Y'all be volunteers.
I mean, I am a person that's definitely like, I don't like to point the finger at a guy. I don't like to even be thought of as a victim. You know what I mean? Which is, sometimes you are really a victim, right?
Absolutely.
But I definitely am a person that don't like to be thought of. Half the time when something go wrong with people, I'm like, I put it back on the woman. You know what I mean? And a lot of people say I like empathy for things like that. And not even just in like romantic relationships, But the fact of the matter is that at some point in time, we are all like doing insane shit. You know what I'm saying? Like even I just joked about, I should tell my COVID story. The person that I was dealing with during that time, like I definitely dealt with some stuff that I would never, deal with now or even before that period. But I wasn't doing shit, so I was like, I wasn't going nowhere.
I'm bored. I'll deal with this crazy shit.
I was like, all right, I'll entertain this shit because you're clearly lying. This shit don't make sense, but whatever. I'm bored.
How many motherfuckers you think is out here dealing with people just because they bored?
Just because they bored?
90%?
No, not that much.
Shit, I'm going
not
90.
That much.
I might go 95.
90, I was going to say I was going to go like 45 or something like that. 40%.
I'm going 90 and I'm standing on it. I think that most motherfuckers is immature. So even in adult relationships, when you come to the conversation with the level of immaturity you have, first of all, motherfuckers is bored in general. Like America kind of positions adulthood in some boredom spaces, right? You go to work, you come home, you watch fucking TV, and then you hit that phone like, what can I nail? That's really kind of what adult is. That's adulthood for most motherfuckers, right? You ain't vested in nothing of value. You ain't got no real purpose out here. You just get money, fucking, and go and sleep. That's pretty much life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you hit a Burna Boy concert on the weekend or some shit. But other than that, it ain't too much shit to this because you ain't invested in no kind of purpose. And I think adulthood requires purpose. You have to have a purpose to drive. Something has to be driving you.
Yeah.
Most of the humans, after 17, they're driven by capital. That's it. So if you get a gig, that dictates the level of boredom you have. If I got a gig, I'm comfortable. If I don't got a gig, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's it. But once you do that, it's like everything fits in place, like Risa Tisa. It was my turn. No, motherfucker, you ain't guaranteed a turn. Everybody don't get a turn.
That part.
Right? Everybody don't get a fucking turn.
Yep.
You get a turn when you become valuable enough to have a turn. And until then, you playing the game. You bored, bitch. That's all it is. That's it. He bored too. So he said, I'm an Arena League football player. Let me make this interesting for you. We're going to make this shit.
Sometimes you got to throw a little line there to make
we're going to make this shit a soap opera. You know what I'm saying? I got offshore accounts and shit. I'm a VP of the jobs that don't exist. I got a motherfucker. What kind of car did he have that never came home?
He had a BMW or something like that, or Audi.
Nigga got a
gray
$200,000 BMW and he driving the Ford to the crib.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, man. Y'all bored.
Help buy her a new car though. Or something like that. It's just crazy. It's just something you said. I'm almost finished. I forget the point I was gonna make, but I've almost done reading that book All About Love that I was telling you about. I think you would like it. I know you said you don't really like the work of the author.
Who was I can't remember who you said wrote it.
I can't remember. Her name.
You go with your herbs with your Google.
But I think you would like, because she sounds a lot about you in the stuff that she's saying. She talks about bell hooks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was talking about a lot about like the patriarchy or matriarchy and capital and all that stuff. But I forgot the point I was gonna make anyway. So
either way.
But yeah, it was crazy though.
But I think boredom drives most of them. I don't feel for her. And she's finna win off this shit.
I feel for
I hope dude sue the shit out of her. He should have some interest in this story.
So you ain't seen the follow-up? One, he responded. The internet found out exactly who he was.
Okay.
He responded saying, you know you lying. You know I caught you cheating with Bradley.
Bradley. It ain't even, niggas don't even name Bradley. Bradley Bill, that's about it.
I mean, he had an executive assistant that was responding to her when she was in the hospital, all type of stuff.
He was the executive assistant?
Yes, I'm assuming so. And then he said now he's considering suing her for
defamation.
The viral
I'm with homie. Get your money. Get your offshore account.
But she's had like many people come out and corroborate her story. Like some of his exes, like his brother, like his family members have come out and been able to say like
they turned on him. His family turned on him.
So that's the conversation I wanted to have, but we can have that later. The family don't fuck with him.
That don't mean you choose her.
They not choosing her, but they're, people do shit for clout one. So she went viral. So now I'm going to come out and be like, let me tell my story. But they're not storytellers. So they shit not interesting. Her shit was interesting the way she pieced it together. But yeah, he said he gonna sue her too. That's the last thing.
I'm with dude though. If that shit goes to like a major network, what it's looking like it's about to go to a major fucking network.
Yeah.
This is still my story.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's her story.
But I'm the lead character in your story.
It's her story, and it happened to her. It's real.
See, I don't fuck with that. That's like the motherfuckers who made that Mike Tyson movie and then played Mike Tyson. I don't like that shit.
Man, I'm documenting shit. Next time a motherfucker play with me, I'm pulling out this phone.
doing the COVID story, get your 10-minute views on. I don't know, man.
My COVID story wouldn't even be that interesting, though. But
yeah, but shout out to Risa Tisa.
Yeah, shout out to her.
For being a volunteer. Shout out to Legion.
That's
even that
shit.
That's
her nickname for him.
And that was like a real nickname, right?
I don't know, but don't it mean the devil or something like that?
Legion?
Yeah, I think they said it's a reference in the Bible to like the devil spawn or something like that.
I'm not here.
So that's what she was calling them.
Yeah, would you say Bible study?
It was a spirit.
It was a
You don't have a mic, so answer the question or no.
When the pig went over, it was some spirit, and they cast out one, but then it turned out it was a bunch of.
Okay, that's enough.
So it was a demon spirit?
It's a bunch of.
That's enough of that shit. This nigga's reading Psalms 23 over there.
They did this shit together.
You gotta have a mic on. If you gonna engage, put a mic on.
Fuck that. They like in a year we gonna get it. You gonna become this, and then come back and get it. They did that shit together.
Nah, I think they said he on the HIV single side and
so I ain't want to directly shit on her.
Yeah.
I try to not directly shit on her, but I tend to agree with Charlamagne.
Yeah.
Right. I tend to agree with Charlamagne in the context of she's an overweight. Well, I don't want to say overweight. She's a BBW or whatever the proper term is. And from my perspective, she wasn't all that attractive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know what dude looked like, but the way she was.
Not attractive.
Okay, I don't know nothing about that, but again, like it's just loneliness and boredom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But in essence, right? You get into those positions, right? You lonely, you bored. Mm-hmm. But we got to be real, right? It's hard to be overweight, right? It's hard to be unattractive, and I'm not the judge of attractiveness, but it's also, it's when you get into those spaces, you start to look at yourself in a certain light, and you respond differently, right? So this goes back to that black man not being, and this goes back to the dude too. I don't even know Legion. I never seen the dude, right? But he had to mask his reality because of low self-esteem.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And he's talking to another motherfucker with low self-esteem, masking his reality, and she's buying the mask because she's masking her reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't, again, this is sensationalized and this is all over the world at this point.
Yeah.
But I believe the vast majority of people in America specifically move with a mask on like that. I don't even think these stories is all that uncommon. That's why I think so many people could buy into the shit.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean? And it might not be I paid Arena League football and I got, offshore accounts. It's I got a job. I know niggas that leave the house every day and they not going nowhere. You hear me? I'm not bullshit. But they don't want nobody to know. I'm dead ass. I guarantee you, if you throw a rock and hit a random nigga, he know a nigga and just leaving the house every day like he got a job. Cause you got to perform.
You're nuts.
That's fucked up, man. So,
crazy.
I don't know, man. Anyway, man, if you ain't seen the Risa Tisa, check out the Risa Tisa.
Let us know what y'all think in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what y'all think of Risa Tisa in the comments. Mostly men. I don't care what women think. Y'all already told Risa Tisa.
Please.
Y'all all agree with her bullshit.
Listen
you know
to
what
this
I mean?
man and just shut him up, y'all.
But either way, man, check out Risa Tisa. Tune in Mondays to our live. Check us out, Herb and 2 podcast. Also check out the website, herb2.com. Check out the merch. And if you're not a Patreon member, become a Patreon member. I don't know what the cost of the Patreon is, but it's fairly cheap.
Yeah, check on there.
Yeah.
Check on there. It'll be some new merch dropping on Patreon soon too.
Fairly soon. Fairly, you jumping out the window, but fairly soon. Now we're putting together a marketing plan for sure about how to, boost the numbers, how to boost the visibility. I think we have a good conversation in general. I think we need a lot more people tuning in, trying to get this information. You put me on some game a couple weeks ago. You was talking about the podcast bros thing. Contextually, I knew who they were, but we not podcast bros, and I know it's hard to be in the space and separate yourself. Mm-hmm. So we really want to be able to separate ourselves, right? We really want to create a conversation that's uplifting. I know we joke around. I'm joking around about Risa Tisa and all that shit. Mm-hmm. But we do need to have a conversation about black love, about black values, about how men value women, about how women value men. I think that is the essence of creating a bountiful community. We were in an appointment this morning not an appointment, but it was kind of like a small business kind of seminar thing. And they got to talking about the issues in our communities. And in the way they was expressing their concerns and the way they was expressing their responses to those concerns, it made me even more concerned. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work to be done. I hope we could be at the precipice of that work. You know what I mean? So we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I'm Tucson Werner. Salute to the homie Herb Howard. He wasn't here today, but of course he'll be back with us on Monday. And salute to E4O, man. We always appreciate E's wrong perspective, but we still appreciate it. You know what I mean? Peace.